Myth number 3, Kaizen is slow, innovation is quicker. Perhaps the most dramatic example of what can happen when innovation is used and abused is Toyota, a company that calls Kaizen its soul. For most of its history after World War II, Toyota exemplified quality automobile manufacturing. Consumers bought Toyotas not for the styling or prestige but for their unparalleled reliability. But by 2002, Toyota management decided it was not enough to build the highest quality and most profitable cars, it wanted to be the biggest car company in the world. And the company succeeded. It built factories rapidly and added enough capacity to produce 3 million additional automobiles in just 6 years. But productivity came at a high price, suppliers could not sustain the quality for which Toyota was known, and the new factories did not have the time to build a Kaizen culture. The result was over 9 million recalls and some well-deserved bad publicity. Here is an internal memo written before the crisis became public. We make so many cars in so many different places with so many people. Our greatest fear is that as we keep growing, our ability to maintain the discipline of Kaizen will be lost. Teruo Suzuki, General Manager, Human Resources. In time, Toyota recognized that abandoning Kaizen drove the company away from a commitment to its core principles. Since the crisis, Toyota has slowed down production, given local managers in the US more responsibility for quality control, and trained new workers in the Kaizen culture. Toyota has returned to focusing on quality, not quantity, as its mission, with an emphasis on correcting defects in production while they are small and easily fixed. And Toyota's reputation for quality has been restored. The company's story is an excellent illustration of the ways in which Kaizen builds habits that can last a lifetime and helps avoid the painful consequences of steps that may, in retrospect, have been too big for the individual or the work group to swallow. Kaizen, the spiritual side. Before inviting you to begin your journey through this book and to experience the power and possibilities of Kaizen, I would like to cover one more topic: spirituality. By this I do not mean necessarily a faith in God, but a sense of purpose and a feeling of fulfillment. Kaizen is as much a philosophy or belief system as it is a strategy for success in changing or enhancing some behavior. There are two elements of the spirit, or purpose, in which Kaizen plays an essential role: service and gratitude. As John Wooden, the legendary UCLA basketball coach, expressed it, you can't live a perfect day without doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you. Other luminaries have spoken of the essential element of service. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Martin Luther King Jr. Let no one ever come to you without leaving better and happier. Mother Teresa. Service is even an essential aspect of the business applications of Kaizen. Each employee in a Kaizen culture is asked to look each day for ways to improve the process or product, lowering cost, increasing quality, and always, I repeat, always, in the service of the customer. Very often, successful corporations such as Amazon, Starbucks, and Southwest Airlines define themselves as primarily devoted to service. As Colleen Barrett, a former Southwest CEO, says, we are in the customer service business. We happen to offer air transportation. We consider our employees to be our number one customer. Our passengers are second, and our shareholders are third. Kaizen demands that every small change be to the benefit of the customer. What John Wooden, Mother Teresa, and Martin Luther King Jr. were speaking to was the daily practice of looking for small ways to touch people's lives. Recall the last day or two of your life. All the people you interacted with, those under your roof, those in other cars on the highway, people who cared for you in restaurants or grocery stores, people in the hallways of buildings you walked through, and people on the phone. If you were 100% sure that you would have changed their day, maybe improved their lives, would you have done one or two things differently? Almost all of us would say yes. Can I persuade you that if you let a driver into your lane, or thank a sales clerk, or smile at someone in a hallway, you can change his or her life? Of course not, But if you don't go through the day with the assumption that small moments and small gestures can touch people's lives, what is the alternative belief? We all have relationships we place in the innovative category, people who loom large enough in our lives that on our best days, they get the kindness and consideration they deserve. How can you extend that kindness in ways that would enrich our hearts and our communities? Gratitude is often considered an element of spirit or purpose. But what are we expected to be grateful for? Innovation calls for financial gains, promotions, and possessions to stoke the fires of gratitude. But Kaizen invites us to be grateful for health, for our next breath, for the moments with a friend or colleague. When famous songwriter Warren Zevon was suffering from terminal cancer, David Letterman asked him what wisdom he gleaned from his illness. Zevon's answer was pure Kaizen: enjoy every sandwich. Some quotes on service and gratitude to begin your exploration of Kaizen. I long to accomplish a great and noble task, but it is my chief duty to accomplish small tasks as if they were great and noble. Helen Keller. We have to learn to live happily in the present moment, to touch the peace and joy that are available now. Thich Nhat Hanh, Buddhist Zen master. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Albert Einstein. I would rather have it said, he lived usefully, than, he died rich. Benjamin Franklin.